What's happening? Well, I have the dresser all done. It's time for my next piece of furniture. And this right here is gonna be a credenza. And it's gonna be to go behind like a sofa table or whatever. But you could certainly make it any size to fit under television or in a hallway or whatever. So I thought it'd be kind of funny just to scribble something out and show you my process. Why not, right? Rachel got me a nice little gizmo here. So hopefully I'll be able to use it and not be too embarrassed, because trust me, as soon as I start drawing, that's enough to be embarrassed about right there. You with me? But whatever. I don't draw very well, and that's okay, but I understand what I'm trying to accomplish, so it's just helpful for me. So I'll draw it upside down. Not that it's gonna make a difference anyways. So basically, and I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna try not to handbone this thing to death. It's gonna look something like this, okay? It's gonna be 60 inches this way, it's gonna be 32 inches this way. And Rachel basically talked me into doing mitered corners out of some 8/4 or whatever, right? This stuff is 10/4, so I might get 2 inches finished out completely. So, you with me so far? Let's get the mitered corners, kind of like a waterfall table. Like that there. And then on the bottom, probably 3.5 inches up or so, I'm gonna put a shelf in right here. Now my client wants drawers, so it's gonna be something like this, maybe 5-inch drawers, and then I'll just break it into 3 even parts, okay? That's basically what it is. So now that I kind of have this drawn, I know what material I need. So pretty simple stuff, right? For what it is. Now the side of this, it's gonna be maybe 14 inches on the bottom, and then I'm gonna taper the front of this just a little bit, maybe an inch, 1.25 inches or something. Obviously this is not to scale at all. It's just to show you what's what, right? And then I'm gonna have a drawer, and it's gonna be right in here. The cool thing about this is that I think I'm gonna be able to cut whatever angle I decide here on the drawer front. So instead of it being square like this, you know what I mean? It'll be like, I think it'll be kind of like this way, maybe, like that. So it slides in, right? Or the opposite way, I forget, whatever. But whatever, you know what I'm saying to you, right? So whatever the angle of the front of this case is gonna be, I'm gonna try to make the drawer the same angle. And if I can make the drawer front the same angle, it'll look really sweet on the front of this thing. And I think I'll be able to make some really neat dovetails that aren't just square to the face. It'll be angled, right? Kind of like what I did on the Bombay. And then overall, you know, from this crappy drawing that I'm just kind of sketching out like this right here, I have a good idea of how this whole thing's gonna be together, right? So to put the side and the top together, basically what I need to do is cut apart the board right here, and then make a 45 on either side of this right here. So, and then I need to make a jig like I did in the show, so I can use a router and make some grooves in those two pieces, or whatever they are. You know what I mean? And then I'll make splines, so when I fold it over like this right here, I can just spline these together, and it'll be super, super duper strong. And then I'll probably just mortise this in right here, and then I think I'll just mortise this in here, right? And then for these ones here, I might do a through mortise on the bottom, and then get extra long mortises up in here. Maybe I'll try to put a wedge in this, or I'll sneak a screw in there, just to make sure that the top of this thing is gonna carry the weight of this bottom shelf, so these drawers don't pinch at all. So hopefully out of that scribble, it made some sense to you, but if it doesn't, I don't really care, because it just needs to make sense to me. You with me? So let's talk about this material. This is a piece of 10/4. It's tiger maple. And the reason why it looks that way is because it was steamed, okay? I just love the way steamed tiger maple looks. It almost looks like cherry. And mostly the reason why I like it is because it blends all the whites and silver tones that are in the tiger maple. So it'll be way more consistent. I don't know if you saw that I made a couple of step stools last year or whatever, 6 months ago. And those are made out of this material, and it's just to die for. So the stuff that's right here, that is like 9 and 10 inches wide. And that whole, like those 4 boards, I think they were like right in the middle of the board. So it's kind of like the hot wood, you know what I mean? The hat wood. And those are going to be flag stools. And I think the die looks really great on the tiger maple. I'll show once I stop messing around. And those pieces over there, you can see that they're sequentially cut and they're labeled. You see that right there? And I'm trying to get 14 inches, right? So I was able to dig through and find a 14-inch wide board. It's right here. And essentially, I'm just gonna go down the end, cut the end of it off, come up 32 inches, make a cut, then go like 62 inches, make another cut, and then go another 32, and I'll get the 3 pieces out of that area right there, and then mill it and all that other stuff, and then I'll figure out how to miter it later on. Now, when it comes to making furniture, you guys know that it's all about the final piece for me, right? It's all about the final piece for me, and I always want the tones and textures to be perfect because I hate putting color on anything that I build. So even though these slabs cost like, I don't know, $700-800 each or whatever, this slab right here is perfect for making the drawer fronts and the shelf. So I'm just gonna come down 5 feet and cut it, and then I can resaw that into thirds because it's 2.5 inches thick. You with me? So I'll be able to get all the parts out of all these pieces. I mean, look at that curl. It's just really beautiful. Oops, I just kicked the stupid tripod. Look at that stuff. It's beautiful. And that's just in the rough. So wait until, you know, I mill it up with my new equipment, and then we'll see how it goes once it gets here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get to cutting this stuff apart and mentally build this thing and see where we're at. And I also had another idea, so let me know what you think. I think once I get this new equipment in here, I'll be able to like mill out some parts for the stools way quicker. So I think I'd like to make some kits of just the top, the stretches and the legs. You're gonna have to do the mortises in the legs and the top to build this thing. But I think maybe $300 or $400 for the kit is what I wanna do. So put a comment in here, let me know if you'd be willing to buy one of those things for that kind of money. And I'm only gonna make them out of tiger maple and quilted cherry and walnut. Even though I don't like walnut, I know a lot of you guys do. So I'll make them out of those 3 species, and that stuff is still at least 10 to 12 bucks a board foot. So it ain't gonna be cheap, all right? Okay, let me know what you think. I'll see you later.